All right, here we are again. Now, this is my first episode in almost 2 weeks. I've been slacking hardcore. Last week I didn't record a video. I could sit here and make a bunch of excuses, and I might give one excuse, but for the most part, I've just been kind of lazy. Number one, and the other reason is my roommates came back. The first couple videos I recorded, I was just sitting home alone, and that kind of played into the part of me being bored and just wanted to start it. But my roommates have been here and been hanging out with them and stuff. And actually, one of my roommates just walked in, so if you hear something going on in the background, that is why. So yeah, that's why I haven't recorded one. Today I'm drinking a Blue Moon. Take me as a sponsor, please. My favorite beer. My absolute favorite beer. Love the orange taste from it. Especially when you put an orange slice in it. Man, my favorite beer. But, like last time, got some notes. I don't want to go on for an hour. I don't want to go on for 45 minutes. I'd like this to be closer to like 20 minutes. But we'll see. I've actually got to wrap this up. I've got to go watch the new Bad Batch episode. And I'll talk about those probably tomorrow. But I need to talk about last week's. But first, I'll get to that. So, what have I been doing? So, been watching the Monsterverse a lot lately, and the new movie came out, Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. We're gonna come back to that here in a little bit, but it's kind of what I've been doing, catching up on all those movies. I started Monarch, and we'll talk about all that later. More importantly, I want to talk about what I have not been watching. And if I was watching these things, then I would definitely cover them, because these are things I definitely want to watch. So let's talk about Invincible. So Invincible Season 2 is going on right now. I watched Season 1 when it came out. I was watching a podcast, and they just kind of was like, they just said Invincible is amazing. So I went and watched it, and the first few episodes were already out. So I watched the finale as it came out, and I loved the first season of Invincible. So obviously I was so excited when the second season came out. I watched the first episode. I didn't love it. And I don't think you should judge something on just one episode. I'm more of a season type of person, unless it's just atrocious. But typically they aren't that bad to where you can't even watch a season of it. And if it is, then usually I don't even hear about it in the first place. So Invincible, Season 2. I have not been watching it. From what I'm hearing, doesn't sound like I need to be watching it. But my biggest problem is that midway break they took through it. I hate when shows do this. And actually, Yellowstone's doing the same thing right now, where they do half the season, take a break, then release the other half. Why? Why are we doing that? That is the dumbest thing in the world. We need to quit doing that. So that's really why I have not been watching Invincible. But if I was, then I would be talking about it. I'm going to watch Season 2, probably after it all releases, and probably much later, mainly just because I'm an asshole, and that pissed me off so much I didn't even want to keep watching it. I'm not going to watch 4 episodes, wait a year, or it was really like half a year. I'm not going to wait that long, and then go watch the other 4 episodes. That's stupid. So stupid. So I haven't been watching that. What else have I not been watching? X-Men 97 and Shogun. Now, X-Men 97, let's talk about Shogun right quick. Shogun, I'm hearing amazing things. I'm hearing it's the next Game of Thrones, and it's all this, and I want to watch it. And if I was watching it, I would talk about it. I just haven't seen it, but I want to. And I'd like to get to it. And as soon as I do watch it, I'll definitely mention it or something like that. I want to do this more often, where I talk about what I haven't been watching, what I have been watching, and what I want to watch, things like that. So Shogun. I'll get to it. I will get to it, and then I hope to talk about it in the future. Same with X-Men 97. X-Men 97 is, it's pretty new, and I was very excited when it got announced, because I've seen the first season of the old animated series from the 90s. I was not alive, so I didn't watch it when it was coming out. But I did watch the first season, and I want to watch 2, 3, 4, and 5. That way I can watch 97. So as soon as I do that, I will talk about them. But I just have not watched them yet. So, take a drink right quick. Oh man, Blue Moons. Fucking amazing. But yeah, X-Men 97. I will get to it. I'm hearing amazing things. Same with Shogun. Hearing amazing things. And I'll get to them. I will. And as soon as I do, I want to talk about them. I'm sure I'll want to talk about them. So as soon as I do, we'll talk about it. But let's talk about what I have been watching. So first, I'd like to mention the new Ted show. I was a big fan of the 2 movies, Ted 1 and Ted 2. I thought 1 was much better than 2. But I thought 1 was a really good comedy. It wasn't the best comedy I've ever seen in my life, but it was entertaining enough. And I really like Mark Wahlberg, and I like Seth MacFarlane. And I think this show does what the movies did not. And this show is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. It's hilarious. Now, the episode I watched last night, I watched episode 5 last night. I think there's 8 episodes, maybe 10. I think it's 10, actually. I watched episode 5 last night. That was my least favorite. I didn't think it was that funny, but I thought the story was good. I'm not going to sit here and talk about the story of all 5 episodes or each joke that's made in all 5, but episode 2 was my favorite so far. Episode 5 was my least favorite. But I'm really enjoying the show, and I hope it gets announced for a season 2. I like the actor who's playing young Ted. I like the family dynamic with his mom and his dad, and obviously Ted, and I don't know if it's their cousin, or I think it's their cousin, Blair. Adopted cousin, kind of, because, well, that's a whole thing in the show. Like in the first episode, she almost gets kicked out and all that, but it's such a good show, so I'm really enjoying that one. What else have I been watching? Bad Batch. Let's talk about episode 9 right quick, just while I'm thinking about it. Episode 9 was the Harbinger. It was the long-awaited episode with Asajj Ventress. I love Asajj Ventress. Big Asajj Ventress fan. I'm in the process of reading Dark Disciple. Oh, you can't see it. It is right there. That book is literally sitting right there. You can't see it, though. I'm reading Dark Disciple right now. And that's the book with her and Quinlan Voss. And then I liked the Brotherhood book about Anakin and Obi-Wan during the Clone Wars. During the beginning of the Clone Wars. That's where you meet Asajj Ventress. Like, if you were doing it in order, that's where you would technically meet Asajj in the timeline. So, yeah. Sorry about this. I'm all bruised up. That's from work. I'm not punching things. This is my left hand anyways, so just throwing that out there. Anyway, so Asajj Ventress has returned, and that was great to see. Amazing to see. We'll talk about, does that make sense? What was the payoff? We'll talk about that in a minute, but that's the big thing of the episode. Return of Asajj Ventress. Great to see her. Very happy to see her. In this episode, she kind of shows up because Fennec Shand calls her about the batch, asking about M count. She's kind of saying you shouldn't be poking your head into that. It's going to raise attention. Obviously, it caught my attention. I was easily able to track you here. And at the end of the episode, she goes, if I tracked you down this easy, you can't stay here. Obviously, we know probably there's going to be an attack on Pabu, so that'll probably lead up to it. We'll see. But basically, the whole episode was, does Omega have a high M count? Because she doesn't really know. And the Batch definitely doesn't know. But, so that's kind of the thing. They're training her to see if she has an IM count. And I liked their dynamic. I love the dynamic between Omega, and Asajj. I thought that was really cool, and Omega is such a likable character this season. But Asajj was obviously the standout of the episode. Huge Asajj fan, so obviously she's going to be the standout for me. Would I have loved some callbacks to Quinlan Voss or something like that? Probably. But that's okay. We can't get it all. We can't get it all in one episode. So, Ventress is kind of, I don't want to say training. They're doing some, like, training to figure out if she is force sensitive. And, I mean, at the end of the episode, Asajj kind of, like, acts like she is a little bit, but the only reason we know that is from the blood samples back on Tantus. She doesn't really act like it in this episode, and even when she says, go get that thing from the tree, she gets on fucking Batcher to take her up there. It's not her, it's Batcher. He's the real hero. So, so that was good. It was cool seeing her get, and I like the scene when they're, like, out on the water, and Asajj has to, like, calm the animal, and that was really cool. Really cool stuff there. So, I love how Asajj explains the Force to Omega. It kind of reminded me of how they explain it in Ahsoka. Anybody can use it, but you have to be trained. And basically, the only thing M count is you're more likely to control it to your own will, easier. Basically, if you have an eye, that's my understanding. I'm sure that it's a lot deeper than that, but that's basically my rough understanding of it. But let's talk about her return. So Asajj, as most people know, she dies at the end of Dark Disciple, or dies. She dies like Maul does, you know, not really. So they don't explain it. The only line we get is kind of at the end where she says, I still have a couple lives left. And that doesn't really explain anything. I mean, they came out after the episode and said there's going to be stuff later on to explain how she returned. I'm eager to see where that goes, but I wish she would have done more. And of course she's not going to explain her whole life story to these random ass clones, but I would have liked something. That would have been nice, but I'm sure we'll get it in, like, Tales of the Jedi, or there's a rumored Tales of the Sith, so maybe that. Maybe we'll get it in one of those. But yeah, I liked this episode. It wasn't my favorite episode. Definitely wasn't my least favorite of the season. But it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. And it's always nice seeing Asajj Ventress. And I still like the Crosshair and Hunter being her dad, Omega's dad. I still kind of like that whole vibe, and I still like all that. But let's talk about, is it a filler episode? Kinda. I don't think you should skip it, but you're not really missing anything. They don't even find out what M count is, really. I mean, they find it out, but does she have it? They have no idea. I think if you skip episode 8 and 9, you wouldn't be missing much. I mean, I wouldn't, but do you need to watch them? I don't know. If you're a fan of Asajj, if you're a fan of Fennec Shand, watch these episodes. But the Harbinger, episode 9, we leave off on the same place that we kind of started on. And that was my biggest problem with the episode. I wish there was more stakes, more, That's okay. It is what it is. And so, but yeah, that's one of the shows I've been watching. Like I said earlier, I've been watching the Monsterverse. I rewatched Godzilla, Kong, Skull Island, King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong. And then on last Thursday I watched Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But while I was doing that, I started Monarch, which is on Apple TV, and I'm about 5, 6 episodes in. I'm really enjoying it. I like the stuff in the past, and I like the stuff in the present when Kurt Russell's in it, but I don't know, it's okay. I could use a little bit more monsters. It's a lot more human focused. The human story is way better than it is in the movies. But no, I'm enjoying it. I'll talk about it more once I finish it. Same with Ted. Once I finish those, I'll talk about them more. But I just making my way through it. So the Monsterverse. What did I think about each movie as I watched it? I'll do this quickly. I've seen them all before, other than The New Empire. That one was obviously just came out last Thursday, and I went and watched it opening night. So, but Godzilla, the first one, I liked it more than I probably ever have. It's a decent movie. It cuts away from Godzilla a lot. The human story isn't the best. There's definitely, you could make some jokes about the actors playing. God, I can barely even remember their names. Ford. His name was Ford, played by Quicksilver. Whatever his name is. Oh man, what is his name? Shit, I'm blanking on his name. Elizabeth Olsen plays his wife. Aaron Taylor Johnson. Aaron Taylor Johnson plays Ford, the main character, and they're okay. And then Elizabeth Olsen plays his wife, and obviously they're brother and sister in the MCU, so it's kind of weird, but it's okay. It's an okay movie. I think you can watch it and enjoy it. I don't love the Mutos. They're not that fun, but it is what it is. Kong Skull Island. I love Kong Skull Island. The movie is just... I think it probably has the best human story, other than Monarch maybe, but I think it has the best human story. I think it is the most beautiful movie. There's some shots where you're like sitting there like this and Kong's just like walking, wading in the water. Beautiful. Beautiful. I love it. So I really enjoyed that one again. Obviously it's Tom Hiddleston and Samuel L. Jackson, John C. Reilly, and I'm missing someone. Brie Larson. There's a lot of big names. They also have Ice Cube's son. It was almost like what's that movie called? Straight Outta Compton. It's almost like a reunion for the guys who play Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, which is Ice Cube's son who plays Ice Cube in the movie. But they're both in this, and then yeah, I mean it's good. Is it the best thing I've ever seen? No, but I really like that movie. King of the Monsters is my favorite. I know the critics shit on that movie, but I love King of the Monsters, and I think it's so much fun. And Ghidorah is my favorite villain, and I really enjoy it. Really enjoy that movie. The human story is okay. You have Millie Bobby Brown and her mom and dad, and everybody hates her mom. And then her mom dies at the end, and it's supposed to be like, oh my God, she sacrificed herself, but who gives a shit? She was literally an asshole the whole movie. And I mean, I get it was her mom, but I mean, she's like slaughtering people. Like, why do you feel that bad when your mom died if she's like slaughtering people? Jeez, but I don't know, I guess it's still her mom. I guess I'd probably still love my mom if that shit were happening, but it is what it is. And then Godzilla vs. Kong. I actually had a hard time rewatching this one. I went upstairs for a little bit. I don't love this movie. I really don't love that movie because while I like how it focuses on Kong, Kong's my favorite. Team Kong all the way. I like it until, I even like them fighting. I like it until Mechagodzilla comes in. That is maybe the dumbest shit they've ever done in the movies. And they're using Ghidorah's head, and they're using, what's his name? I'm having a lot of trouble forgetting Serizawa's son. He's like controlling it like it's fucking VR or some shit. I don't know. It's so stupid. And then they team up and fight gods. I mean, it's Batman versus Superman. They're the same movie. One of them almost dies. I guess in Batman vs. Superman, Superman does die. You get my point. They team up, they fight the villain, and they're friends. That shit gets so old. We get it. Don't title a movie blank versus blank unless it's going to be a constant battle through the whole thing. And it's not. That's my biggest problem with that movie. With all that being said, let's talk about the new one. The only reason I want to talk about those is because I haven't talked about them yet on any of my videos, so I thought it'd be a good time to bring them up. So, Godzilla X Kong, the new Empire. My overall thoughts, I really enjoyed it. Is it my favorite? No, I don't think it compares to Kong, and I don't think it compares to Godzilla King of the Monsters. I think I like it more than Godzilla vs. Kong, and I think I like it more than Godzilla. But, so it's probably like my halfway point. I really like this movie because it's focused on Kong. And like, although I said that about Godzilla vs. Kong, the humans are still like a huge part of it. In this movie, I'd argue to say Kong is the main character. That's not like that in any other movie. Usually it's a certain human and how they link with the monster. No, this is a movie about Kong. And then Godzilla is barely in it, at least in my opinion. I mean, he pops up and he kills, what's his name? It's not the Leviathan. It's, man, I'm having trouble remembering his name. I can't remember. But he kills the creature, and that's what gets Godzilla pink and all that. And then there's the Scar King. I love the Scar King. He's not Ghidorah. Nobody compares to Ghidorah. But no, I really like this movie, and I love that Kong was the main character. The humans, it's another. Same with all the others, except this one I thought was fun. Except they just bring I don't even remember the character's name. The podcaster. They just bring him with them. Why? I don't know. You're not supposed to think about it that hard. This is a movie where you're supposed to turn your brain off and just watch monsters fight. And a lot of people say, like, why can't you do that with Marvel and DC? And I don't know. But I can do that with these movies. I can just totally zone out. Just watch them. It's fun. I enjoy them being fun. That's what they are. They're a good time. And I had fun with this one. They're anti-gravity. Godzilla's like fucking flying at them, and it's a fun movie. It's a really fun movie. There's one point where Godzilla's on the top of Gibraltar and like dives off. That scene was just so memorable. And then he goes to Egypt, and him and Kong get back into it. They start fighting again, and I don't know. Maybe I'm spoiling everything. Hopefully I'm not. But no, it was good. It was really good. Then you had Little Kong, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was funny. I'm going to bring up a spoiler right quick, so if you don't want to know, please don't listen right here, but my girl's back, Mothra. I love Mothra. Is she my favorite monster? No, that's Rodan. Rodan's my favorite. But I love Mothra. It was great seeing her again, and she's gold now. So I thought that was a lot of fun, and I hope she's in the next one. I really hope she's in the next one. But then again, I've been waiting to see Rodan again since King of Monsters. And they've been blue balling us like a bunch of jerks. Speaking of blue moon. But yeah, there was some good stuff in this movie, and it's really stupid. I mean, they give they give Kong a power glove at one point. And honestly, this franchise is kind of reminding me of the Fast and Furious franchise because of how silly it's getting. but it's fun, silly. I like the Fast and Furious movies. I can also just turn my brain off and enjoy them. But yeah, I enjoyed it. About the future, I don't know. Kong has an army now. That's crazy. Whoever the villain is, maybe destroys the next film. That would be cool. That would be really cool. I don't know. I don't know where they're gonna take it. I hope Godzilla and Kong don't fight in the next one again. We did that already. Let's move on. Let's move on. But I like Little Kong. I like the Ice Dragon. I loved Scar King. He's rest in peace. But yeah, it's good. Scar King was probably my second favorite villain, which I don't have much choices. I guess it's really Ghidorah, him, Mechagodzilla, and then the Skull Crawlers and the Mutos. I mean, they're really nothing, but so you really only have three, or in my opinion. People probably count the Mutos and the Skull Crawlers, but I don't count them. I like Scar King. I liked how humanistic he was. He kind of reminded me of like Loki, or just like the way he's like moving his body, and he's got the little blade that controls the ice dragon thing. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed this movie. I was pissed at the beginning they kill Skilla. It pissed me off, but and why did they kill Skilla? Because at the end of King of the Monsters, Skilla is one of the ones who bows down to Godzilla. You know what? Who cares? Who cares? I don't know. I've already been recording for 27 minutes. I said I wanted to do this for 20 minutes. But screw it. We'll talk about a trailer right quick. I want to talk about the Penguin trailer. No, not Mr. Popper's Penguins, or a movie or voiced by Morgan Freeman about penguins, or not Happy Feet. No, it is about the Batman villain, the Penguin. Why? Why are we doing this? Why are we about to watch a show about the Penguin? The trailer looked good. The trailer kind of looked like The Sopranos type of mob boss crime thing. It was really cool. But why are we gonna see a show about the Penguin? I don't care. I don't care. I wanted to see a movie about the Joker. That's the Joker. But a movie about the Penguin? Really? I'll watch it. I'll talk about it on here. But why? Why are we doing this? Who cares? Who cares? I don't know. There's some other trailers. Beetlejuice too. Or I guess Beetlejuice. I haven't seen the first Beetlejuice, but I watched the trailer for some reason. Looks great. I'm totally going to watch the first Beetlejuice after that. What else came out? They've been releasing some more trailers for Furiosa. I can't wait to watch that. I don't know. I really want to watch Frozen Empire, the new Ghostbusters, but I haven't got a chance to see that. But I haven't even seen Afterlife, so I'd need to watch that first. But I love the first Ghostbusters. I do not like the second Ghostbusters. But I'd like to watch Afterlife and then go watch the new one. The new one looked like a lot of fun. Yeah. What else is there? I think that's it. I think that's all I want. Oh, House of the Dragon. They released a trailer for that. We'll talk about that at a later date. I'm kind of running past the time I wanted to talk about it. We'll talk about that when season 2 gets closer. I'm excited for season 2. I don't love season 1. I don't love season 1. I'm not a praiser of season 1 like everybody else is. I'm sorry. But yeah, we'll talk about it when it gets closer. But I did want to bring up the trailers, kind of my just really, really brief reactions and thoughts about them. And yeah, I think we covered a lot. Talked about Invincible and Bad Batch and the Monsterverse and X-Men, and covered some good stuff. Now I will cover The Boys season 4 when that comes out. I need to finish Gen V. Rest in peace to the young man who just passed in a motorcycle accident. I really liked him in Gen V. I have seen the first 3 episodes. I like Gen V. The Boys is kind of high off its own farts nowadays because it's so gory, which I love the gore. That's why I liked Invincible, but I don't know. It's almost indulging itself a little too much, which is okay. I'll still watch it. I'll still enjoy it. I need to finish Gen V. I was so mad that they killed freaking Brink, the professor, and they killed Golden Boy. I loved those 2 characters, and they killed them. Made me so mad. But I'll keep watching it before The Boys, and then I'll talk about it, and then I'll cover The Boys when that comes out. I'll cover Penguin. Whatever else drops too. I'll talk about it all. The lighting probably still sucks. The sound probably still sucks. I didn't change anything for this one. It's probably just like the last video. The only thing I changed is shirts. So yeah, and beer. I changed beer. But last time I think I was drinking Michelob. But if I have a Blue Moon in the house, I'm drinking that 9 out of 10 times. So yeah, I think I talked about everything I wanted to talk about. I'm going to go downstairs and watch the 2 new Bad Batch episodes. And then I'll cover those probably tomorrow. But I think that's all I want to say. If you're watching... Sorry. If you are watching, thank you. If you're not, that's okay. You don't have to. I'm not expecting you to. But if you did, really thank you. I'm not, like I said, I'm not expecting a whole lot of viewers. I'm just doing this just to talk, just to have fun, and I'm enjoying this. I really am having fun. This is like an escape. I'm more comfortable now to where I feel like I'm talking to someone, although I'm not. I'm staring at my phone right now, propped up by Elektra, Daredevil, Pop. So yeah. I think let's call it there. Seriously, thank you if you watched. Yeah, I'll see you guys later.